playoffs. We're just trying to win a game. The infamous Jim Mora speech will live forever. Playoffs, that's exactly what we're talking about. Can the Buffalo Bills defense hold down Watson and Hopkins and a possibly returning J.J. Watt? Can the Tennessee Titans and their red-hot team put a nail in the coffin on the New England Patriots dynasty? Can the Minnesota Vikings do Mission Impossible and go to New Orleans and beat the Saints? And can a Philadelphia Eagles team, who, despite playing better recently, should definitely not be in the playoffs, can they find a way to beat a very good Seahawks team? All of these questions will be answered because NFL WILDCARD Weekend is coming up this weekend. And I'm going to tell you exactly what's going to happen and break it down because, first off, nobody does it better. Ladies and gentlemen, it is the best time of year, and that is damn right. It is the NFL playoffs, which is coming to you this weekend, starting with the WILDCARD Weekend. And we've got some good games on tap. Obviously, the football playoffs going into this year are extremely exciting for so many people, myself included. This is one of the better NFL seasons we've seen in recent years, and there's going to be so much excitement going into the playoffs, and they're going to kick off Saturday and Sunday. 2 games on Saturday, both AFC and both NFC games on Sunday. We're going to preview and predict all 4 of them right here on the YouTube channel. And I think, like I said, I'm happy. As a Titans fan, we did make the playoffs after beating Houston. Derrick Henry with that beautiful game yesterday. I'm going to probably have this uploaded on New Year's Eve. Because I'm doing the Week 17 NFL review that's going to get uploaded today, but this is also recorded on Monday, as you can see. Yes, excited as a Titans fan that we're making the playoffs, and as vulnerable as New England is, now's the time to beat them if we can. We're going to go over every game, and let's get started. Bills and Texans. This game is going to be played in Houston. Houston are winners of the AFC South this year, and they're going to be hosting the Buffalo Bills, who were the 5 seed in the AFC this year for the wild card. And this should be an interesting game. This is actually, to me, one of the harder games to predict of the weekend, just because of how inconsistent both of these teams are. Both teams very talented, both teams very good, and both deserving of a playoff spot as well. Houston, this game isn't Houston. And now here's the thing with Houston. You have Deshaun Watson at quarterback. You have DeAndre Hopkins as a receiver threat. And there are rumors that we are to be expecting J.J. Watt to return this game. There was a potential that he could have returned yesterday in Week 17, but we're expecting him to potentially be back for this playoff game. And if he plays just like he did, or half as good as he was when he was dominant, it will be a force to be reckoned with. The Buffalo Bills offense has been a little bit inconsistent, and that is where the problem is. Very simple. The Buffalo Bills need to get their offense going just a little bit more. As you see, their defense was very good all year long. They've had a great pass rush. Their secondary's been good. But the Buffalo Bills are going to really need to get that offense going, and it can't be mediocre. I don't think it's going to be a super high-scoring game. I'm not expecting this to be a super high-scoring game. But I think the Bills' defense, if it plays as good as it did, could cause some problems for DeAndre Hopkins playing receiver. And I also think that Deshaun Watson, it definitely benefits for him being a mobile quarterback, because I think that the Bills' pass rush is going to be on him a little bit in this game. I'm worried about the Bills' offense in this game because we've seen how it is. We've seen how they've had a run game, but Houston has a line that can shut down the run game. And John Brown is also a receiver for the Buffalo Bills, and we know that he's credible to make some plays potentially in this game. But I think when I look at it, it really comes down to the deciding factor is the Bills' offense in this game, because we've seen how consistent and inconsistent they are in the season. And if the Bills' offense is just mediocre, I don't see them winning this game. So I think that the Bills' defense is going to hold down Houston. This is a hard game to predict. It really is. But I think that Buffalo is going to come out on top. I think their defense is really going to try their best to hold down Houston. I think DeAndre Hopkins could have a bit of a problem on Saturday. This is your first game, obviously, with a 4:35 start. I think that the Bills are going to win this game off of defense. I don't expect it to be a high-scoring game, but I have the Buffalo Bills winning, and I have them advancing. I think their offense is going to do just enough to win the game. Again, I'm expecting somewhere between 10 and 20 points for the top scorer. Buffalo may be able to get 17 or so or what have you, but I am expecting the Buffalo Bills to win this game in a low-scoring game against the Houston Texans. This game, to me, is one that really grabs my interest, and the reason that is because we have the Patriots looking perhaps the worst they've looked in recent years. Obviously, they didn't get the job done against Miami, and they are now bumped down to the wild card spot of hosting a game, and the Tennessee Titans were winners who just got in. They will travel to one of the hardest places to play in the playoffs, and that is Foxborough. Tom Brady has not really looked like Tom Brady, at least not too much this year. He's missed a lot of his passes. He hasn't passed for a lot of yards, not a lot of touchdowns, at least not to what Tom Brady's standards are pronounced to be. And you have the Tennessee Titans coming in, and they're red hot off this game. Tannehill's been great for the Tennessee Titans. A.J. Brown has really found his footing as a wide receiver in football in recent weeks. And you also have Derrick Henry, who is on top of the world as probably one of, if not the best running backs in football right now, coming into that. The advantage to New England would be that they are home. Again, this New England team has been very underwhelming, and they're probably at the worst that they've ever been. They just lost a home game against one of the worst teams throughout the season against the Miami Dolphins. But the way I'm looking at it is this. It is a different time. They have time to regroup. It is the playoffs, and it is Foxborough. So regardless of what the Patriots come out with, Bill Belichick and Tom Brady always have a plan. For the people that are saying the Titans are going to stop them, that is not going to happen. I'm telling you right now, I don't think that the Titans are going to dominate this game. I think it's going to be a very close game. What I worry about is that if it's a close game, New England's going to win the game, because New England has a knack for close situations and playoff clutchness and just being in those environments where the Titans have been in those environments, but not so much. Tannehill, this is his first postseason start. He's never started in a playoff game. Derrick Henry, this is not his first. He's had I believe, 1 or 2 playoff games. So I think on paper, when you look at it, you'd say the Patriots have the advantage. But to me, honestly, I think the Titans are going to win this game. Some of us are going to call us crazy for that, but I think that we've been red hot, and I think we're really hungry to show that we really do belong in this league and that we're one of the better teams. So I really do think the Titans are going to win this game. If New England finds a way to shut down the run game, you can throw all that out the window. Tannehill has to have a little bit of time. And Tannehill has to be really careful with his passes, because the New England secondary will make you pay for your mistakes if you do not. I am expecting the Titans to win this game. It sounds crazy to some of you, but I think that the Patriots are at a very low point right now. And if the Patriots don't come out dominating very quick in this game, the Titans are going to come away with it. Titans are a strong second-half team. Again, yes, it's in Foxborough. Yes, it's Tom Brady and Bill Belichick. But, Tom Brady and Bill Belichick in the final week of the season against the Dolphins at home to clinch a first-round bye couldn't get the job done. I'm not going to sit here and be arrogant and be cocky about it, because there is a chance the Patriots could win this game. But I just think that when it's all said and done, we're really going to get the job done. And I hope that we do, because I'm looking forward to it. It should be a great game. I'm going with the Titans to beat the New England Patriots on Saturday night. We now flip over to our Sunday games, which could be a pair of dominating performances. The first one is the Vikings going to New Orleans to take on the Saints. Now, this is probably the most unfavorable position the Minnesota Vikings could have going into the playoffs. They would probably rather play any other team in any other venue. Unfortunately, though, the Minnesota Vikings are going to go to one of the hardest places in football to play one of the hottest teams in football, and they are probably going to get annihilated. A couple reasons why. One, they're in New Orleans, a very hard place to play. Two, Kirk Cousins has played better this year, but Kirk Cousins, when he's put into that primetime position, he seems to fold. I don't know how many of these. Again, Stephon Diggs is there as well. The Saints have been robbed in the last couple of years. Not robbed, but just on, they were robbed last year of the PI call, but then the year before, I believe that was the Stephon Diggs catch, and they've just been very unlucky. We don't know how much longer these Saints are going to have on the top of the pedestal. We also are banking on, if the commissioner clears it, which I think that he will, we are also banking on a potential Antonio Brown in this game. So if there's one game this weekend that's going to be a blowout, I think it's going to be the Saints over the Vikings. I think they're going to annihilate the hell out of the Minnesota Vikings on Sunday afternoon. And I'm going with the Saints to win this one big and punch their ticket to next week. The final game of the weekend is one that is all kind of messed up. It's the Eagles, winners of the NFC East, hosting the Seattle Seahawks. Now, first thing I look at when I look at that is how unfair is that is. Well, the thing is when it's all said and done, the Seattle Seahawks are wildcard winners. And the Philadelphia Eagles won the worst division in football, the NFC East. The Eagles have played better in recent weeks. They're also home. The Eagles have a good home crowd, and they tend to play a lot better in Philly. I'm going to give the Eagles a chance in this game, but I don't see them winning. I think that when it's all said and done, they're just not going to win. The Eagles are going to be hosting the Seattle Seahawks Sunday at 4:40, if I am correct. That is your final game of the WILDCARD weekend. We're going to have to see. We're going to need Marshawn Lynch to be a bigger factor in this game than he was last night. Again, I know he was playing the San Francisco defense, so you kind of give him the slack a little bit on that first game back. But I think that I'm not quite sure Marshawn Lynch is going to have a good game, because the Eagles have been known to be a little bit better at stopping the run. But I do expect him to have a bigger game than he did yesterday as well. So the Seattle Seahawks are going to have to try to really amp up that run game, especially not having Chris Carson. Obviously, you have Tyler Lockett as a receiver. You have your receivers. And the Seattle Seahawks defense could make Carson Wentz's day a very long day. I think it's going to be a long day for Carson Wentz. I think the Seattle Seahawks defense is going to get to him. Again, I'm not saying that the Eagles are going to get blown out because I don't think they're going to get blown out. But I think they're going to have a very tough time scoring against the Seattle Seahawks in this game. And I think it's going to be one of a lesser exciting games for Carson Wentz. However, it is Carson Wentz's first playoff game. And if he really wants to cement himself as an elite level talent, he can win this game. If the Eagles go out and they beat the Seattle Seahawks, it's going to start to have people talking. Now, we know that the Eagles are not going to the Super Bowl. They damn sure ain't beating the 49ers. They damn sure ain't beating the Saints. And they will not beat the Green Bay Packers, I doubt, in Lambeau Field. So I'm going with the Seattle Seahawks to win this game when it's all said and done. Eagles got a chance. Don't see it happening. These were your preview and predictions. Everybody enjoy the games this weekend.